You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Andy podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 161. Today is July 6, 2026. And again, today there's no guest, just me. But before I get into that, the hotline, 818-806-8595. You guys can use that to give it a call, ask a question. You guys can vent. You guys can, oh yeah, I'm driving, by the way. You guys can vent. You guys can ask a question for a guest, maybe something I forgot to ask them. You have a question about something they said, whatever, feel free to reach out. It's there. It's free. It's if you want to call it but don't want to expose your number, you can star 67 and type it up and call it. If you don't trust that system, feel free to try it with a friend, with the mom, your dad. Star 67, call their phone, and you'll see that your number will come up blocked or unknown. And that way I don't have your number. And yeah, Instagram, Ride With Me Podcast. TikTok, YouTube, and Rumble are all FTA_podcast. Patreon is Flat Tire Andy Podcast. And if you like to donate, I have a guy that does it. I'm very appreciative of that guy. He doesn't want his roses. He says he just likes what I do. So he donates. Venmo, FTA Podcast, no underscore on this one. And where can you find this podcast? You can find this podcast on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Castbox. I think they still do it on there. Podbean. But if you hit that follow button, it only counts on Spotify. So if you guys can follow on Spotify, even though you're listening on Apple or anything else, highly appreciate it, man. Thank you. Comment and share, all that good stuff. And let's not forget our sponsors. Big shout out to SolarX Insurance. They offer fast, friendly, and affordable coverage. Whether you ride a motorcycle or need an SR22, SolarX can help. Don't let insurance stress slow you down. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719. You can check them out also on www.slxinsurance.com. That's slxinsurance.com. And let SolarX get you back on the road. Hit them up. My boy Juan and his girls at the office are waiting for your calls. So let me start off. I'm going to start off by saying I'm not a fan of these kind of episodes. If you're new to this podcast and you're like, listen, why the fuck am I listening to this guy just fucking vent about his personal life? I don't normally do these kind of episodes. I have conversations with real people. We talk about their traumas. We talk about their upbringing. We talk about whatever caused them harm, lie. Like, you know, at one point I almost harmed myself. I was very depressed, and pretty much what I did to outcome that. You know, there's, like I said, this is like a podcast where I let people open up and a platform for people to open up. You know what I mean? Sometimes they say something that reminds me of something that happened to me as a child. And it's like, oh, you know what? That's funny. That happened to me too. See, it's like, you're not the only person going through this BS. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not a fan of these solo podcasts because I feel like I'm just venting, and you know, some people take it as I'm talking shit about other individuals, but it's not talking shit when I'm speaking facts on what has happened. And you know, at one point, I've had to address that to certain people. I'm like, if you were to go physically listen to the episode, instead of believing what you heard from someone else, then you would have realized that I wasn't talking shit. So maybe you should go listen to it yourself before you make that conclusion or judgment, whatever. But the reason why I'm doing these is because, oh wait, and I will have a guest soon. We booked it already. He has an interesting story from my hometown, so I will be talking to him in a couple of weeks. So you won't be hearing only me venting and ranting. So, but again, the reason why I'm doing this is because, like, I allow other people to get stuff off their chest. I haven't really been doing it. I've been holding on to a lot of stuff lately. Like I ended last episode, I did say that I kind of went off on my wife. I took out my frustrations out on her when it wasn't her, and I couldn't take out my frustrations on the person I really wanted to get my frustrations out on. And so like I told, my wife and I sat down, and I dude, it was bad. I lost my voice. That's how bad I screamed, and I ended up losing my voice. And we talked about it, and this is like the Saturday before Father's Day, and she's still celebrating me on Father's Day, even though we weren't talking and stuff. But we talked it out, and we were like, hey, you know what? The thing is that I've been holding on to a lot of stuff. I'm not the kind of person. I wasn't raised to brush things under the rug, and I've been dealing with shit like this my entire life. And I'll get into it, but I'll get into my whole life part, right? The getting into my skin stuff. So recently, I'm not a fan, and no one is. I've talked to multiple people, and they all say the same thing. No one likes it when people put words in their mouth. No one likes it when a story is created based on something you said or didn't say, or your words get twisted. I fucking hate that. I despise that. Like, example, I brought up the fact last episode that an old boss of mine had passed away. Well, a couple of days later, I received a text message from somebody who I haven't heard from in 7 months. The guy doesn't even have the decency to call just to check up on someone. To him, it feels like that's not who he is. He doesn't feel he needs to check up on people. So if that's his mentality, then he shouldn't fucking reach out about anything. So he starts off his conversation with, good morning, man. I don't know what you did. So automatically accusative, I get defensive. You're already starting your statement by accusing. I don't know what you did. Nah. So rumor has it that the family is upset, and some of the upper management are upset because I started spreading the fact that he had passed away. Nah. If you get your facts straight, I don't even work for the company anymore. So how would I have found out the man was dead unless somebody called me? And that's exactly what happened. I was sitting at home, minding my business, actually watching soccer, and I'm not a soccer fan. I'm actually watching soccer. I'm actually still awake after 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and I get a phone call. Hey, did you hear so-and-so pass away? What the fuck? So my mistake was reaching out to the closest person to him, who then he reached out to homeboy's siblings. And I was like, okay. So that's what I told my wife. My wife is like, yeah, maybe you should have just kept it there. But yeah, but the fact that this individual's coming back at me, that he heard that management's upset with me, and that I won't be welcome at the funeral with open arms, that this is like my fault that the rumor got started. Yeah, no. See, that's the shit that I'm talking about. That's the stuff that I'm talking about. What pisses me off. It's like I feel, I've said it recently, I need a fucking limpia. I need somebody that knows how to do a limpia with an egg and just fucking take all this bad juju out of me, because my whole life someone has just twisted my words or fucking said things that aren't true. And the reason why I took it out of my wife is because a person close to her recently made a statement about me that wasn't true. We ended up going, my wife and I and the kids, we ended up driving up to like Vegas, the Hoover Dam, Glendale, Arizona, and then, there's a bunch of stuff on the road. Then the next, in one weekend, we also went up to Page, Arizona, which is like, I think in 4 days, I drove over 1,500 miles in 4 days. So the last thing I wanted to do was interact with anybody. So when I got home and we got home, then rumors started going around that, oh man, you were complaining about this, and you were complaining about that, and you were complaining about this and this and that. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I kept to myself. I went in my room when the room that we rented at the Airbnb, I kept to myself. I didn't interact with anybody. I was like, hey, sorry, I'm tired. And I took a lot of photos, and I would like to edit these photos first. I don't really want to socialize with anybody right now. Sorry. And I went to my room, the room that we paid for the Airbnb. Nope. It got back to like, hey, and that was that was the last one. That was the one that I was like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm done. Like, I escaped my mother doing that to me. I left my mother. I left the mother of my kids doing this shit to me. I've eliminated friends from doing this shit to me. I've eliminated brothers from doing this to me. But now I feel like this individual I can't get rid of. And it sucks. But it's not the first time that it's not the first time she said anything. That's the reason why I lost my shit. It's been multiple times. It's like I feel like she picked me as a fucking punching bag or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm her fucking punching bag. So a few years ago, my wife had discovered that she had cancer, and this individual knew that my wife was going to go to the doctor's office and go get checked. You know, go see what's going on, and MRIs and all those other terms. And honestly, in that time, I feel for you women. I know what you guys go through, and I'm glad I'm not a girl, because damn. And anyway, so she, she finds out she has cancer. She's in pain because they did like I think a CAT scan or something, not a, where they go inside the woman's area and they scrape a little bit of her, I'm gonna say vajiji, I guess. And so she was in pain because they gave her no medication, and two, she just found out she has fucking cancer. This individual decides when she sees my wife crying, like ball on. My wife doesn't cry, man. My wife doesn't cry. And when she sees my wife crying, the first thing that comes out of this individual's mouth is, "What did Andy do?" Really? That's the first thing that comes to mind. So in my thoughts, it's like, what do these people really think about me? That they're gonna assume that that's the first assumption that they're gonna think of, that I did something to my wife. What did Andy do? That day, I lost all respect for this individual. I lost all respect, but I'm very cordial because, like I said, I can't get rid of this individual the same way that I got rid of my mother, the mother of my kids, and friends. That, I know I said last time, I value friendships. I do value friendships. But when you have an individual, example, like the one that doesn't reach out to you in 7 months, and the one time he does is just bullshit, negative crap, cut him. His number is blocked, and his number is deleted from my phone. This is the shit I'm talking about. I believe in the intro of my podcast, or the promo of this podcast, I say I eliminated all negativity. Well, guess what? Somehow negativity continues to follow me. And that's why I was making a joke the other day. Fuck, man, I need a limpia. I need that egg. So let's go back. This is something that therapy, I never really touched on it on therapy, which I should have, but I didn't really touch on it in therapy, my therapy sessions, which now I'm thinking of going and looking for a new therapist, because I shouldn't have to use the podcast to vent, but at the same time, it is a therapy for me. Like right now, just talking about it, it's just clearing my mind. People driving next to me probably think I'm on the phone, so it's all good, And so let's go back. Why this bothers me so much, and why I haven't been able to shake it off. And that's talking to my compadre yesterday about it. You guys know him. He's on here a couple of times, Roger. I was talking to him about it yesterday, and it's like, I don't know why I can't. I think I know why I can't shake it off. I don't know. I can't just shake it off. I can't get rid of it. I don't know. Therapy, I think, like I said, I need to go back to therapy to see what happens. There's some things in therapy that happened, that were said, that were, and that, yeah, okay, cool. I talked about a nightmare that I used to have. After therapy, that nightmare never came back. You know what I mean? So I think that we didn't touch on this little detail a lot. But yeah, no, I don't know why I can't shake it off. But let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. But he got it. I don't know why I did. I don't know why the fuck I just did that. But yeah, no. You know, when I moved out of my mother's house, I became a target. I became the target, and freaking people would get like, my mother would get evicted. Somehow that was my fault. Somehow I called the landlord and managed to get them kicked out when she wouldn't pay her rent. So that's like she's blaming me for her excuses to not pay rent. Like, oh, Andy called the landlord and got us kicked out. Like, what the fuck? Then there was this one time where CPS was called, Child Protective Services. And we've had CPS in our lives our whole life. Like up until I became an adult, I was part of the CPS reports for like 28 reports, right? And CPS, CPS, Andy called CPS, Andy called CPS, Andy called CPS. And it was like, what the fuck? The reason why that bothers me was because some of my siblings stopped talking to me because of that fucking rumor, because of that bullshit. Andy calls CPS, Andy calls CPS. He's going to try to get us you guys taken away and blah, 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 blah. So when you grow up your whole life, just hearing this, I'm going to quote my brother once. He said, you get accused of so many of these things that one of them has to be true. So I remember back in like 2008, my mother was in jail for something stupid that she did with the mother of my kids. And they're both in jail. So I have literally all my siblings, the little ones. Some of them are only 6 years old. I think the youngest is like 5 years old maybe. So I have all the siblings plus my kids, and then obviously some of the adult teenage siblings and some of the adult siblings, right? Well, in that time that we were all like living together and trying to take care of these kids, CPS was called again. And it was to the point where I went to the fucking CPS office and I said, look, you guys are just scaring my fucking siblings, and it is causing a wedge between my brothers and me because of all these fucking reports. They're blaming me for these reports. They're accusing me, and it's getting fucking old. And so she went to the house. She went to go see what the accusation was now, what the rumor was being said and stuff, right? And she straight out had a whole freaking briefcase of fucking just documents after documents after documents. And she stated in these documents, there has been 20 some reports on this family through CPS. And every single one, Mr. Martinez here, has been in there as a victim, never as the caller. So after she left, she told that to my siblings. After she left, I'm like, well, do I get an apology? And they straight out said, fuck your apology. So, oh, all right, cool. You guys are going to believe your mother over a professional lady that just told you guys that my name has been in there as a fucking victim, not as the caller. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you guys. I upped and left. Fuck it. You guys want to believe your mother? You guys want to bring your mother back after she gets out of jail? Knock yourselves out. I'm out of here. And I dipped. I left. And that whole CPS bullshit, that was just 2008. Every time CPS got called up until the last child was fucking 18, it was me. It was always me. It was always me. Fucking the sky is purple today. It's fucking Andy's fault. It's Andy's fault. One of my siblings came to live with me a while back, a couple years ago, and he ended up. And I told him, he started dating this girl from the restaurant at the corner where we live at, and I told him, bro, don't get her pregnant. Not right now. You are too young. You don't even know what a 401k is. You don't have benefits. The last thing you want to do is have a kid.
Need auto insurance or an SR22? Like now, SolarX Insurance gets you covered fast. No license, no problem. We speak your language, shop the best rates, and get you back on the road today. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719. Visit slxinsurance.com or call now 877-736-4719. Quick, easy, done. Solar X Insurance. Drive with confidence.
He comes and a couple of weeks later, hey, I'm going to be a dad. So obviously I didn't jump for joy. And because I didn't jump for joy, I became his target. He made it seem to this individual's mom, that his baby mama, he made it seem to them like we were kicking him out. He had nowhere to go. So they felt sorry for him. And then he made them believe that I said that we were better than them. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, okay. So I'm someone's punching bag again. All right, cool. When my brother took off to go live back at his mommy's house, and I know that's going to offend somebody, the word mommy. So I've done that before, and it's like, fucking this. Yeah. When he went to go live back with his mommy, he would come and visit his daughter. And then I guess the word, court documents started coming up, and she booked him for child support. So he came back with, I'm going to take your child away from you, and blah, 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 blah. So they were venting to me because we love the food from the restaurant, So every time I would go buy something, it's like, well, he said this and he said that. And I told him straight out, he has every right. He has every right to see his daughter. That, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to the guy, but he has every right to see his daughter. And when you guys go to court, he will get some kind of visitation. So even if that involves taking him, if he decides to take his daughter to his mom's house to visit there, whatever the case would be. Oh, we don't like it when he takes him there or takes her there. Well, hey, if a court grants him custody, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can take her wherever the fuck he wants, unless you guys tell the courts why you wouldn't want my brother to take your daughter or your guys' daughter to a certain place. Well, I guess a few weeks later, they were talking to my mother. This lady was talking to my mother, and they said, well, Andy said this. Andy said you were going to take away our kid and blah, 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 that I shouldn't allow my daughter in your house and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, my God. So, them chili cheese fries, no more. I stopped going. And I wouldn't make eye contact every time we drove by. Fuck this shit. You guys completely twisted my words again. And that's what my wife and I were talking about last night. She's like, fuck, man, everybody just twists everything you fucking say. Because what happened was a GoFundMe came up for my boss that had passed away. I'm like, I'm not sharing that shit with no one. I'm not sharing that shit with no one. The last thing I want is for people to come and look, see? Nah. And that's my wife's like, fuck, people just find a way to just twist your words. And no matter, you can say the sky is nice and clear and they'll still just fucking fuck with you. Again, an individual that I haven't spoken to 7 fucking months. 7 fucking months. That's all he reaches out for. Just to make my fucking day stressful the other day. For something that is none of his fucking business. He thinks he's being a good friend. His mentality was, I'm being a good friend by letting you know that you won't be welcome with open arms. But you started your text message by accusing. I don't know what you did. Motherfucker, you don't even know what I did. So mind your business. And I told him at the end of it, the last message I sent him was next time you hear something about me, just take it to the grave, man. Just take it to the grave. I don't need you to tell me what you're hearing. I don't need any of that crap. Next time you hear something about me, just take it to the grave. And he stopped responding. So I'm glad that he stopped responding because all he was doing was getting under my skin. These guys are trying to move. Are you moving? Are you blocking? What's going on? I need to enter. There we go. So yeah, this little. My first stop is a little gasoline station, but parking here is up BITCH, and people are blocking lanes. People are blocking everything. So I'm trying my best to squeeze around here. I don't want to be sticking out of the parking lot. I'd rather be head out first. That way I can get out easily. But yeah, that's been my whole. Now that's just a few examples. That's the mother of my kids always accused me of cheating. She always said, she always freaking she always accused me of cheating. She would always accuse me of certain things, and at one point I'm like, fuck, shit, did I do that? I started questioning myself. Like, fuck, did I really do that? Did I really cheat on her? So it just, like I said, it just got to the point like where it really pisses me off. Like I can't explain it. It just like it's not like a light switch that I can just turn off. It's just like I don't know. It's like boiling water, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've had enough. I've had enough, and I'm tired of it. It's like I told my wife I want to live under a fucking rock and just stay the fuck away from everybody. But I started talking about like maybe even like because what I did was I started deleting phone numbers from my phone. I started blocking numbers. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I haven't spoken to you, and I haven't spoken to you in a while. I haven't spoken to you in a while, and I haven't spoken to definitely this guy from fucking the other day. That not only am I deleting your number, I'm fucking blocking your ass. And it's just like I said, it's years and years and years of bullshit. It's just like I can't turn it off, and so we go back to what happened the day before Father's Day, and you know, you know, like I said, this individual I just can't scrape off. Like I did my mother and the mother of my kids and some friends. I can't scrape her off. And I damn well know if somebody hears this fucking episode, they're gonna be like, "Oh, Andy's talking shit," just like they did back in 2020 when I did a COVID rant. Oh, it got to the point where, oh, Andy's talking shit about individuals and blah 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 blah. No, go listen to the shit before you fucking, before you accuse me of talking shit. I had to sit down an individual and sat her down and told her like, are you serious? Like, do you not know what my podcast is about? Do you have any idea the kind of people that I sit down with and talk to and listen to their stories? If all I was doing was bad mouthing the family, don't you think that I wouldn't be guest on other people's podcasts? I'm being asked to be on other people's podcasts based on my upbringing. So based on what the mother of my kids did to me. So if I'm bad mouthing the family, maybe you should have gone back and listened to the episode yourself before you make this conclusion. So, like I said, all the years of Andy did this, Andy said that. Oh, I was called incompetent one day in front of my kids. When I did reach out to family members about there you go, family members. Now you guys know. When I did reach out I sent a group text and said, "Hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is what's going on." Blah 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 blah. An individual made fun of that text. I've been talked to like fucking like I'm stupid. I've been tolerating all kinds of shit, and I finally, because I haven't voiced my opinion because I feel like my wife holds me back from saying stuff because I know it's going to come off wrong or bad or loud or whatever. She's been taming me back from saying something, and that's not a bad thing. I think I told her that yesterday. I think she got offended. Taming me or holding the lion back is not a bad thing because she doesn't want me to explode, and I get it. I shouldn't explode. But years and years and years of just brushing things under the rug, just because they were raised that way doesn't mean that I have to be that way. But yeah, the few times that I fucking actually told them, "Hey, this is what's up, this is what's going on," they made fun of it. All right, cool. So that's the reason why I can't shake these people off, And I lost my shit, and I took it out on the wrong person. I took it on the wrong person because I can't take it out on the right people. And right now I'm at the point in my life that I just like I cut I want to keep I'm not cutting them off. I just want to keep my distance. Somebody came over to the house. I went in the room. I kept to myself in the room. Apparently that person got offended. Well, how come you didn't say hi? What did I do? My wife's like, you did nothing wrong. He's just treating you all equally. He's just treating you guys all equally. And I don't understand why it became this person's punching bag. I really don't understand it. It was brought up to my attention. Well, she physically heard you say it. When? Does she read fucking minds? Because I was in my room the entire fucking time that weekend. When? Oh, at a family gathering? Interesting. Can you please pinpoint a day at a family gathering where I was complaining about the house we live in? Can you please explain that to me? I want you to really think about the last 10 gatherings and ask yourself, when the fuck did you hear me complaining or venting about the house we live in? Because it's no secret. The house we live in is owned by my mother-in-law. And my mother-in-law is not even in 6 feet underground. And people are already talking about how it's going to benefit them if the house gets sold. So fuck us living in that house. Fuck us, right? Because it's going to benefit you. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So it's been a lot of, like I said, it's been a lot of stress lately due to yes, I'm going to say it. Fuck it. Due to family. Family has cost, not even my own family, but family has caused stress in my life lately. The house we live in has caused stress in my house lately. I don't feel like we have a landlord because we are family. There's a tree in the front yard that is dying and decaying, and it looks like it's hollow on the inside. So I paid somebody $500 to come clean that tree up so it wouldn't fall in the house with a nice gust of wind. Again, I don't own the house. So this is the landlord's job. A toilet broke. Hey, I went and bought the damn toilet. Why? Because we're family. There's termites at the property. Who's the one that went and got an estimate? Who's the one that had somebody come in and check the house? I did. It's not my freaking job. It's not my house. Especially when people are stating, oh, you guys are going to get kicked the fuck out the moment our mother's in the ground. So, they're going to take this one now as talking shit. I don't give a fuck. Maybe if they allowed me to talk to them, vent to them, and tell them what they're doing, I wouldn't have to do this. And this is not talking shit. This is me venting. I'm just venting. And so, for the first time in forever, that's what I told my wife. The thing is that I've asked you for years that let me just stay back. Let me not go to a family gathering. Like, what real benefits do I provide if I attend a family gathering? What benefits do I provide? Everyone talks to themselves. Everyone talks amongst themselves. The girls talk with the girls. The guys over there with the guys. There was this one time, we're all watching football, the Super Bowl, and we were all sitting on the sofa, all of us, everybody, and everyone was talking about what the songs were going to play. They were guessing what color the Gatorade was going to be, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're all talking amongst themselves, right? And the moment the room goes quiet for like maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds, I'm literally sitting next to people. Like, literally there's a person like almost touching my fucking knee to knee, right? And when the room got quiet for like 30 seconds, I'm like, I think the Gatorade is going to be yellow. You know what I mean? And because no one was asking me, like, I'm like, don't exist. So I've tolerated a lot because I do love my wife, and I've kept quiet because I love my wife. But I'm at the point where if it's going to be the fact that I'm going to snap at my wife and take it out on her for something she didn't even do, everyone who I've told the story to of what happened the day before Father's Day, they're like, dude, she didn't deserve that. I know. I know she didn't deserve that. I screamed so bad at her. I yelled at her so bad. And the word that kept on coming out of my mouth more was, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And she took it as like, we're done, like we're gonna break up. No, no, no. I'm done as in I'm done tolerating people's bullshit. I'm done being people's punching bag. You know, like what person would just make up a fucking story out of their fucking head that never happened? Like, Andy was complaining about the house the entire time that I was like, oh my God, enough, Andy. I didn't bring up the fucking rental, is what they call it, once. I kept to myself in my room. I just went to the horseshoe bend up in Page, Arizona. I just drove through Flagstaff, Arizona. I just left the freaking Hoover Dam. We were in Vegas. I took photos. When I take photos, I like to edit them and spend my time with my camera and my laptop. I pretty much kept to myself that freaking weekend. So to come up with this fucking story of Andy was complaining about the house the whole time, like, really? Really? That like you, maybe your life is that miserable that you have to fucking pick on somebody else? So this is why I've been doing a little bit of venting session episodes. Like I said, I'm probably gonna call it a day because I think I'm done. Pretty close to the end here, and I think I've said enough. My wife's probably gonna get pissed off if she ever hears this fucking episode. Why? Because because she knows that her family will be like, hey, he was talking shit. I'm not talking shit. Is that you guys just don't understand that when I do reach out to you guys and tell you guys what's going wrong, what's up, either, this is the one thing that was brought up to my attention recently was that, oh man, Andy complains so much just like you, meaning to my wife. That's why you guys make the perfect couple. Or you guys whine a lot. That's why you guys make the perfect couple. I'm like, motherfucker, let me punch you in the fucking face. I've had to tolerate her brother fucking asking me to fucking want to throw down, and when I fucking do, he fucking chickens out. I've tolerated a lot. Like, I've tolerated a lot. Like when we first moved in, our house was a fucking daycare. No, I need my wife to get a real job, not babysit kids for free. And it just like, I don't get it. They mean, I am going to say this. They are united. They are 100% united. They grew up together. They, whatever the case would be. But I just think that they treat the in-laws differently. You know what I mean? I feel that. Like, one of my sister-in-laws didn't talk to me for 2 fucking years. And this is why. This is starting with the family was, and when she finally did start talking to me, it was like, because it was the picture that was painted of me. Okay, so what the fuck were you guys talking about me that she felt the need to not talk to me for 2 fucking years? I'm in the family. I'm in the family now, and she doesn't talk to me for 2 fucking years. And when she finally does, I ask her why. Because of the picture. I give her that for being fucking honest. Because of the picture that was painted of you. Interesting. So, yeah. Again, if my buddy can do a 4-minute episode podcast and fucking post it, why the fuck not? I think I'm done. Just getting stuff off my chest. It was a fast drive today. There was no traffic. So that was great. And so many people are still out there celebrating the 4th of July. So, I'm going to close this by, this is more of a if the shoe fits type episode. I'm not talking shit. I'm speaking facts. I need you guys to understand that if you guys hear this episode. And I know who, and you know who I'm addressing this to. If you feel that I'm talking about you and the shoe fits, this is not talking shit. This is what you guys have done to me. This is what the bullshit you guys have put me through, and I've taken it out on my wife. And that's the last thing I want to do, is take it out on my wife. She did not deserve what I did the day before Father's Day, to the point where I lost my fucking voice. So I did not, that's the one thing I didn't do. I did not lay a hand on her. I got close to her, but fuck, I did not lay a hand on her. Thank God. But I'm not that mad at her. So, it's to the point where like people are already talking amongst themselves and they say, oh, what's going on with Andy? What's going on with Andy? And like, well, fucking come ask me. Come ask me. Don't talk amongst yourselves, because you guys are going to create your own fucking story. Come talk to me. Ask me. So, yeah. Again, I am not a fan of these fucking episodes of me ranting or venting. This is not who I am. I mean, I guess it is who I am, but this is not what my podcast is about. I do have, like I said earlier, real people with real stories, trauma that, that they've gone through and stuff like that. But I feel like I needed this for myself today. Sometimes I look at TikTok videos and like, why are they just sitting there and crying? Like, the fuck? Like, that's the attention they want. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, it looks like I'm doing the same thing by just talking here about my shit. But yeah, no, like I said, it's just not, I just needed to say it out loud or whatever, because like I said, I feel like if I write them an email or send them a text message, they'll just make fun of it. They've done that in the past. They've made jokes about it. Oh, you looking fucking Andy, send a long ass text message. So I feel like if they want to know what's going on with me, they can go ahead and listen to this episode. And if they think I'm talking shit, then shame on them. If they can learn from this and be like, oh shit, okay, fuck, we fucked up. I told my wife, I'm not big with apologies, but I feel at this point, like someone owes me an apology. Like, seriously, like this is enough. And, but like I said, the lion has been tamed, and the lion can't get tamed no more. So, yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done for today. I said that like 20 times already, but hey, I do what I do. This episode was sponsored by SolarX Insurance. Fast, friendly, and affordable coverage. Ride a motorcycle or need an SR22, they have you covered. They have you covered. SolarX helps all drivers no matter the situation. Get a quote today and see the SolarX difference. Call 877-736-4719. That's 877-736-4719. Or check them out at www.slxinsurance.com and get back on the road with confidence. Again, that is www.slxinsurance.com. All right, guys. And again, I can legit say it like I end every podcast. Thank you for riding with me.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.